Okay, we are recorded. So tonight I wanted to continue on a little bit with some of the training that we did with Denise a couple weeks ago on the Jack Canfield stuff. Has anybody ended up picking up that book when I was talking about last week, the Success Principles? No? Catherine, you would love this.
Really? But it looks
Yeah.
so big.
What's that? It looks so big? It's very big. Everything is, each chapter is broken into like 5 pages. Maybe 6
What's the
pages.
name of it?
The Success Principles by Jack Canfield.
Can I get it on what is it called? Edibles?
Audible? Yeah.
There you go, that one.
I think so. I want to say Caitlin Tautia said she got it on there as well. So, good one to just listen to as you're driving. But,
Okay.
Rudy, did you end up buying it after we talked about it last week?
I did not. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm going to cover things throughout the book, so don't feel like you guys have to buy it, but it would be a good one for you if you're looking for something. So, okay, this week, and I am going to mute you guys out because for some reason there's some noise. There we go. Okay. So, like I said, I wanted to continue on a little bit with what we had talked about last week. And last week was taking 100% responsibility. And that leads us into unleashing the power of goal setting. So I'm going to read you a little bit out of what Jack Canfield says, a little bit out of what we got through the training, and then we can answer questions from there if you guys want to. But I really am a big proponent in the power of goal setting. One of the things that we've been learning is that we already know that you need to have specific measurable goals that you can hold you accountable so that you can actually see specific results. But what I didn't necessarily know that I'm finding really interesting is that when we are putting positive things into our mind and when we are writing down our goals and saying them on a daily basis, we're literally building like new neurological pathways in our brain, which just allows our brain to grow and really expand who we are as people. And there's a study that they've done. I'm sure everybody has kind of heard of this study that was done at Yale on goal setting that says that 3% of the general public who actually writes their goals down are the ones who achieve those goals. So this study, they have no idea where it even came from, but they've actually proven that it never actually happened. But there were a couple of doctors who wanted to, there's Dr. Gail Matthews and Dr. Stephen Krauss, in case anybody cares, they wanted to do a study on goal setting and kind of take that like fake study that people were talking about and see if it was true. So what they did is they split 267 participants ranging in age from 23 to 72 from multiple different countries around the world into 5 different groups. Group 1 was asked to think deeply about their goals, what they wanted to accomplish over the next 4 weeks, but not to write them down. Groups 2, 3, 4, and 5 were asked to write down their goals. So group 2 wrote down their goals. Group 3 wrote down their goals and also formulated a list of action commitments. So they made a list of what they needed to do, what they were going to take action with. Group 4 was asked to formulate a list of action commitments and then send their list of goals and actions to a supportive friend. So that way they're being held accountable. Group 5 was asked to do all of that stuff. And then also provide a weekly progress report to a friend. They found that at the end of the 4 weeks, the participants that were asked to rate their progress at the end of that. And they said that the participants in group 1 accomplished only 43% of their goals. So those are the people that just thought deeply about what their goals were. They didn't write anything down. And then group 5, the people that did everything, 76% of their goals were accomplished. That's a huge difference, guys. So what that tells us is that when you are writing down your goals, you're holding yourself accountable, so talking to somebody about those goals and checking in with them. Doesn't need to be a boss, doesn't need to be an upline, doesn't need to be, someone that is like, that's a superior to you or what you would consider a superior. It just needs to be someone that's going to help hold you accountable. you're going to achieve your goals so much faster. And with talking about charting over, last night's challenge was to come up with your chart and post it. So those of you that did, thank you very much. But we want to be looking at what those action steps are going to be and then holding ourselves accountable to that. So I asked everybody to come up with an accountability partner. Do you guys feel like you've got accountability partners? Ruta, I think you've got an accountability partner in Heather, right? Hey, Heather. I can't hear you because I have you muted out, but we're talking about goal setting and accountability partners right now. But Catherine, if you don't have an accountability partner yet, definitely let me know and I can help you pair up with somebody if you feel like you need someone. You don't have one yet? Okay, so we need to. All right. But basically, they proved that writing down your goals, making a public declaration of your goals, and being accountable to another person, such as a coach, an accountability partner, or mastermind group, really allows you to achieve those goals. They also found that 80% of Americans report that they don't have goals. Now, there's a few different reasons why. Maybe they never learned how to set goals. Like, how many of you guys learned how to set goals at some point in your life? No, it's not something they teach in school, right? And so unless your parents are teaching you how to set goals and how to achieve those goals, it's something that most people don't grow up knowing how to do. And they said that 16% of people, when they did this study, said that they have goals, but they don't write them down. Less than 4% take the time to write down their goals, and less than 1% of people review them regularly. And this small percentage of Americans, that 1% of people that actually review their goals regularly after they've written them down, tend to earn 9 times more over the course of their lifetimes than those who don't set goals. That's crazy. Now think about that in terms of if you're shooting for a diamond or you're shooting for a double diamond or you want to go black diamond. If you're not writing down your goals and you aren't looking at them daily, how are you going to remember what your goal is? It may be in the back of your mind, but it's not sitting there flashing in neon letters saying, hey, this is what you're working towards today. And a lot of the times we need to see that. So one thing that I have always learned is that with goals, like I said, they need to be measurable. They need to be specific. You need to hold yourself accountable. And I like the measurable part because if you're just saying, you know what, I would like to own a nice home on the ocean. Like, that's a good idea, right? But is there anything that's really a goal with that? If we're actually verbalizing and spelling out what that home on the ocean looks like, that's going to be more of a goal or an objective because then you're able to see what it is that you're working for. I want to be diamond I want to be diamond. Okay, great. You want to be diamond. When do you want to be diamond? What does diamond look like? What action steps do you feel like you need to take in order to be diamond? Do you guys have any questions on that? Yeah, you do? Okay, let me unmute you. Okay, Catherine, what question do you have?
I didn't know if you were gonna do it at the end. I wrote it down. If you want to wait till the end, that's fine.
No, go for it. No, we can definitely have a discussion about it.
So as far as writing the goals down, this is something that I also believe in, and then that's what I've been doing because I also have like a board on my room, and that's what I see when I wake up and when I go to sleep. I've written down my goal, like what I want to be by a certain day. I've even put the date. I mean, as far as writing down the goals, do I have to like write like a sentence? Do I have to write like words or like how? I mean, I wouldn't know because I've tried it. Trust me, because in the beginning, that's what helped me like achieve what I achieved in the beginning, writing things down. But now it's like I'm writing them, and I guess I don't know that it's not the same anymore. So I don't know.
Well, okay, I want to ask you this. Before, when you were writing them down, did you 100% believe that you could do it?
I mean, I didn't believe it 100%, but I gave it my all.
Okay.
More than what I did now, than what I do now.
Yeah. So maybe your goals need to change a little bit. Maybe what that diamond looks like or that emerald looks like changes a little bit. And so your vision for what you want changes a little bit. And like we talked about, you said that you didn't really learn how to set goals. So part of setting goals is figuring out those action steps that need to happen. When you were starting at the beginning and saw that success and you wrote down your goals, did you write down action steps, or were you just writing down a goal and saying, okay, I'm doing everything in my power to rush towards that goal?
It was just seeing the steps to success and just completing them and completing them as much as I can.
Okay.
And then after that, that's when I was just signing people up and signing distributors up and close customers. And then that's when Tiffany reached out to me, okay, you need to start charting.
Yeah.
So that's when I started charting. So that's when I went from executive to Ruby. And then but then again, I just went all down, but I mean, there's just something, I guess, I don't know.
Well, I think that one thing it sounds like is that you set your action steps as steps to success, but maybe you need to break it down a little bit deeper. Break it down into what is steps to success? What do you have to do to complete those steps to success? So you've got your grand big vision. So this month you're going Emerald, right? So you need 5 distributors on your team. What exactly do you need to do to find 5 distributors? What do you know works well for you to find distributors? And then how many loyal customers are you going to need? How many loyal customers do your new distributors need? And what's your game plan for that? And I think that writing it out in action steps that way, that's being very specific. It's giving you a measurable goal. So you know that you need 5 distributors, right? So if you get to the end of the month and you don't have your 5th distributor that's added to the team, then obviously that's where you start the next month. You know what I mean? So you've got a number that you're shooting for. And when when I'm looking at, your situation, getting those 5 distributors, I would be looking for 7 distributors, having 7 be your number that's going to be added to your team, because that way you've got a little bit of leeway too. People that you can work with, but if somebody it's not their thing, or they, don't get their 4 loyals this month, then you've got a backup there as well.
Okay.
Okay, so let me see, I've got a little bit more. One other thing he talks about is creating a breakthrough goal. And what he says is that a breakthrough goal is going to represent a quantum leap for you in your career. Most goals represent incremental improvements within your life. So a breakthrough goal is going to be something like an accomplishment like losing 60 pounds, or writing a book, or going diamond, or appearing on Oprah. Who knows? Like that. A breakthrough goal is something that's going to make a huge, huge difference in your life. That achievement of that goal is going to change everything for you. Wouldn't that goal be worth pursuing with a passion? Wouldn't that be something to focus on a little every single day until you achieve it? And when I hear this and I read this, I think, okay, a lot of us who have been in the business for a while, just like you, Catherine, you said you started out, you had that big goal, you had that breakthrough goal, and you worked and you worked and you worked and you worked, and you believed in it, and you were excited, and you had a passion behind it. And then I think we hit that year mark, or we hit our first obstacle or our first setback, or maybe we feel a couple of setbacks, and we start questioning in our head, are we on the right path? Are we doing the right thing? Is what we were doing initially what we need to continue doing to see success? And a lot of the times, maybe that's not exactly it. Maybe we need to change things up a little bit. And so that's where it comes down to those action steps. What did I do before that worked really well for me? What am I doing right now that's working well? Maybe what's not working well, and what haven't I tried that's worth trying? So I think of people who are solely 100% Instagrammers or Facebook. Like that's how they've always built their business, or that's how you've always built your business. What can you be doing differently to build your business? How can you change up your posts to be more eye-catching? How can you make yourself stand out more compared to all the other distributors on social media? What can you be doing in your daily life to meet new people, to make those new connections, to be blitzing more? If blitzing is something that you're not totally comfortable with, or that you just don't find time for, how can you be meeting people otherwise? So He says, if you were a stay-at-home mom whose entire lifestyle and finances would change if you earned an extra $1,000 or $2,000 a month through participating in a network marketing company, wouldn't you pursue every possible opportunity until you achieve that goal? And sometimes we get a little bit burnt out, and so we need to reconnect with that goal. Whatever your initial goal was, maybe you need to reconnect with that as well. Like I said, break it down into those specific and measurable goals. And have that big breakthrough goal that we're talking about, but those specific measurable goals, and that finding that passion behind it again. He says there's a few different things that you can do to really get that goal and the action steps ingrained in your head. And I think this is interesting because he gives a few different ideas, so that helps everybody. But I think it's interesting because these are the kind of things that build those trees, those new neural pathways in our brains that help us to remember.
You're breaking out, Amanda. Can't hear you.
Oh, I'm breaking up. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. But that's the type of thing that allows your brain to create those new neural pathways and for us to get better and smarter and be quicker with responding to people and be better at making relationships. So he says, reread your goals 3 times a day. Once you've written down all of your goals, both large and small, the next step on your journey to success is to activate the creative powers of your subconscious mind by reviewing your list 2 or 3 times a day. Take time to read your list of goals. Your brain wants to close the gap between your current reality and the vision of your goal. So this kind of opens up the whole talk of what your vision is. When you're looking at those goals, yeah, you're breaking them down. You're breaking them down into action steps, but what's your vision behind it? This leads you to that passion. What is your reason for wanting to go emerald? What's your reason for wanting to go diamond? What's your reason for wanting to make $4,000 or $6,000 or $500 a month? Everybody has a different why, but that why needs to be connected to a vision. What does that look like for you? How does it feel? What is it that you want for yourself and for your family? And how does it connect to that goal? So start asking yourself those questions. He also says you can create a goals book. So write the goal at the top of a page in a book and then illustrate your goal with pictures, words, phrases that you cut out of magazines, catalogs, travel brochures, as if your goal is already achieved. So this is kind of like taking that dream board and putting it on steroids because you're looking at it as this is already the future. And then review those pages at least once every single day. And again, that's building that subconscious into realizing, okay, this is my vision. This is what I want. This is what I'm working towards. And that's going to get you up every day, working your butt off. And you're going to find that you're going to do a lot more when you have a clear vision of what it is that you want for yourself. Sometimes just saying that you have a number goal as a vision isn't enough. Where do you want to be able to spend your time? What does your day look like? What do you want to do? What do you want to be? Who do you want to be? What do you want to have? Really break that down because that's going to identify your passion and who you are. He says carry your most important goal in your wallet. So literally like write it down and put it in your wallet so you can look at it multiple times a day. Write a check, and this is something that we've done at a lot of different events, is get big, huge checks and have it signed by Mark Pentecost, and then write in what your number is. Because when you've seen that check and you take a picture of it and you put it on the wall, it's like, wow. It really cements that vision even more. I think it's important to know that one goal is not enough. We've got to have lots of different goals. You can have goals in your personal life. You can have it in your finances. You can have it in who you want to be. You can have philanthropic, I can never say that word, goals. You can have business goals. So sit down and look at what it is that you are really wanting to achieve. What do you want things to look like for you? Looking at what we did here. So some things that make a goal a reality, like I said, are using specific and measurable goals. Is it believable to you? So something you think that you can do. If it's not something that you think that you can do yet, then you either need to be working on some personal development and building that strength in yourself, borrowing that belief from someone else, or maybe scale it back to something where you can look at, okay, this month I want to do these 3 major things, and maybe they're not major like end goal, but there's 3 things that get you to that goal that you believe in right then and help you build that confidence in yourself to be able to achieve and go after those bigger goals. Are you communicating your goal to others? Does it have a time limit? I think a time limit is really, really helpful. So how much by when? That would be an example there. Also, your internal and external roadblocks are accepted as part of the journey and dealt with positively. So we're all going to have setbacks. We're all going to have, that one person that says, you know what, you're not going to be able to do it. We're all going to have an obstacle that the world throws at us. But if we are equipped to handle those obstacles, we're going to get so incredibly further than we would have otherwise. I think we all go through roadblocks. If you think that someone who's been in this business for even like 2 years has not been through roadblocks, that's at, Triple Diamond, Presidential Ambassador, if you think anybody in that top 100 in the company has not hit roadblocks, you're absolutely crazy. Everybody hits roadblocks in this, whether it's day 1 or day 300. It just depends on how you move forward from it. A lot of the times you need to realize that when people are negative, it's not you, it's a reflection of them and where they're at that time. If you're not seeing results, that's not necessarily a reflection of you. It's maybe a reflection of that circumstance. And back to how can we take our response and change the outcome. And I think that setting these goals and taking those action steps daily are a great response to events or circumstances that are going on in our life to allow us to make a different outcome happen. There's something else I wanted to read to you guys that was in here.
It's really good stuff.
What's that?
It's really good stuff.
I know. I love this stuff. I'm so excited. He says, I'm telling you not to see considerations, fears, and roadblocks as stop signs, but rather as a normal part of the process that's always going to appear. When you remodel your kitchen, you resign yourself to a little dust and disturbance as part of the price you'll have to pay. You simply learn to deal with it. The same is true of considerations, fears, and roadblocks. You just learn to deal with them. In fact, they're supposed to appear. If they don't, it means you haven't set a goal that's big enough to stretch you and grow you. It means there's no real potential for self-development. Learn to welcome considerations, fears, and roadblocks when they appear, because many times they are the very thing that have been holding you back in life. Once you can see these subconscious thoughts, feelings, and obstacles, once you're aware of them, you can face them, process them, and deal with them. When you do, you become better prepared for the next venture you want to undertake. Okay. And then he goes down to talk about the power of a goal, which is a lot of just examples of people who have set goals. But back to the whole structure of your brain changing based on those goals that you're setting and what you're putting into it and how far you're reaching and the action steps you're taking. I thought this is a really interesting story that Brandon told us. He said that it's been proven to take 30 days to change the structure of the brain. So this means your belief, your vision, how you feel about yourself on a daily basis, the type of things you're telling yourself. If you are setting goals, like setting a goal to do 6 things for your business every single day, it takes 30 days for your brain structure to change to take on that new goal. So during those 30 days, we have to have discipline to accomplish that, to finish that 30 days so that the brain starts taking over and just makes it a thing to do. And so he told a story about astronauts, and this was like mind-blowing to me. It was really, really, really cool for me, especially considering my kind of analytical background. And Heather, I think you would like this too. He said that basically there was this study that NASA did with like 26, let me plug in my computer real quick, 26 different astronauts. And so what they did is they had them wear convex glasses for 30 days straight. So this basically made their world turn upside down, okay? So they wore them for the full 30 days. some of the guys actually, hold on just a second. Some of the guys backed out, and because they couldn't handle it, they were seeing everything completely 100% upside down. Can you imagine going through life for like a month seeing your entire world upside down because you're wearing these annoying glasses and you're an experiment? Like, that would drive anybody nuts, right? Well, by day 26 to day 30, for every single one of those astronauts that kept those glasses on for that entire time, their brain actually flipped the image. So they looked, so everything by that 26th to 30th day, when they're all going through that process where their brain was flipping the image, they all of a sudden could see things normally. So their brain got used to looking through those convex glasses, and it adjusted for the convex glasses and allowed everything to look upright again. So it just goes to show that your brain can do amazing things. I mean, if we test our brain and tell it something that's not true, and then like we are visually seeing something that's not true, but we're putting into our heads positive things, like they're telling their brains, no, that's upside down, that's not right. I know I can see right. They kept telling themselves that over and over again. By that 26th day, their brain literally flipped the image for them. What was interesting is when they took their glasses back off, everything went back to being upside down again because their brains had gotten used to seeing things upright, the right direction, wearing those convex glasses. So just goes to show that we can train our brains. It took them another 30 days to get their eyes to see normally again.
Normal.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
It is.
Yeah.
But it's true, though.
Yeah, it's creating those new pathways in your brain and teaching it something new. They taught their brain that even though they were seeing things upside down, that wasn't true. They could see things the right way if they just continued to work at it. So let's see. I want to see if there's anything that we didn't cover here. I think that's pretty much everything. We're going to go over action steps a little bit more next time. But I would love you guys to take some time to think about what it is that your vision is for your business, what it is that your big major goal is, and ask yourself that question. Do you believe? Do you believe that you can accomplish it? And start making a list of what it is that you want for this month and what needs to happen and how you are going to do it. Because I do truly believe that when we break it down into that, we have such a clear vision of what needs to happen on a daily basis that we connect that daily vision to that grander scheme vision. So I'm going to unmute you guys, see if there's anything you guys would like to add or ask. You guys are all unmuted. Nothing? I had a big long thing, but I'm not going to read that to you guys. I'll wait until another night. But we are a third of the way through the month. So that means that we have essentially, 20 days left to reach the goal that we set for this month. So if you need help with charting, let us know. If you are feeling like you need to talk every single day to somebody, please make sure you've got an accountability partner. But you can reach out to myself or any one of your diamonds. The other thing I wanted to talk quick about is maybe a little bit of brainstorming on some things you can be doing to, sorry, I just lost my train of thought, to be bringing in new leads. So a couple of things I love for this time of the year are craft and vendor shows, because you can usually get one for like 10 to 30 bucks and get out there at a table for 2 to 3 hours and just share what you've got with people. I think it's a great way to be just meeting new people and creating new relationships. And maybe it's not the people that are coming by the booth, but instead the other vendors that are there. Because a lot of the times the other vendors have experience in this kind of thing. So I love doing that. I think that doing Like lead boxes is something different and fun to do. Blitzing is really great for bringing in new leads. Posting on Facebook and Instagram. Catherine, you're really good at being consistent with social media, and Heather too. Do you guys have any tips that you feel like people would like to hear? Or we're going to have people listening to the recording as well. So
What works for me is actually posting every hour. It doesn't have to necessarily be every hour about the business, but I try to like more or less make sure that they keep seeing me, even if it's a post that maybe they'll like, or I just post random things. I post shoes that I like, different events or different like views, landscapes, or even my goal, my dream. Like if I want a kitchen that looks like that, I post a kitchen that looks like that or something. Just stuff that catches people's eyes to look at you the next time when you do post a before and after picture, or you do post something about the business, they actually go ahead and read it. I feel like that's what helps me the most, being consistent of posting every hour. Also, what I started doing again, which helped me get a lot of loyal customers like this past year, was following 100 to 200 people new daily on Instagram and on Facebook. It's just doing that daily, and then make sure that my followers, or like especially on Instagram, is always higher than what I'm following. So I go back and unfollow people that are not following me back. So that's another thing too that attracts people. That okay, she's not just following me just to get my attention or to buy something. She just she has a lot of followers. You got to put yourself in people's shoes when they start following you. So that's something that has helped me a lot too as well. Another thing that I want to start doing as well, what I did before that helped me a lot, was reaching out to people. People that like your pictures, that like your posts, just reach out to them.
Yeah,
and just say hi, or just have a conversation with them.
That's a really good point, and I think that's really great with the Facebook thing. I actually have a friend who, we go on Facebook and we friend people, friends of friends, and that's like a normal thing. But she actually came to me and said, okay, so I have a friend who is in It Works, and she's telling me that she has been trained and that her team has been trained to friend all these people on Facebook and then just blast them with messages. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. That's not what we do. We are friending people to have friendships with them and create relationships with them. So when you're working Facebook, remember that it's not fun to be spammed. Like Catherine said, you don't want to be spammed. Like you want to be talking to people who actually have like interests or have liked a picture. You have some commonality with them. Otherwise, it just looks like you're spamming them, and people don't enjoy that. So that's
another thing that I do too is comment. Like if they post a picture and you see it, just say something nice about it. Say something cute or nice, cute, or if their child is so cute or adorable. I do that a couple times before I actually message them too, so they see like, okay, she's not just trying to sell me something. She's been commenting on my pictures a lot too.
She's a real person. She's not.
Yeah. Exactly, because there's a lot of people that just write random comments, and it's just like you could tell they're business or business related, trying to get you something or give you something.
Yeah, Heather, what about you?
All the same. I have nothing more to add.
You've been really good at Facebook lately, and I like watching your page because you've got fun posts about the business and fun product posts. So you're really good at doing product posts daily. And I think sometimes we can forget about that and just do all business or all lifestyle posts and not really talk about the products too much. So you do a great job of highlighting what it is that you actually are doing. Let's see. Lisa said something. I'll read. I was watching someone today on Facebook. She commented on something that happened on Ellen about wanting to give back someday, like what just happened on Ellen. I picked up on that immediately and said, I have a means that you could make that goal possible. She was interested. I'm going slow and tagging her in some posts. That's a good idea, Lisa. I think, we are hope brokers. We have something that not a lot of people see. We've got positivity. We've got love. We've got an amazing company with amazing products, a team that prays for us on a daily basis and cares about us, and a way to be able to give back to the community. And people don't know that unless we share that with them. So I really like highlighting the gives back type stuff too, even if it's just in a message when I'm talking to someone about what it is that this company is about. And I find that gets people excited. Another thing that I've been doing is when I send out any information or I wrap someone, I am always, 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 always including greens, no matter what. And I'm signing up loyals on greens because they're tasting it the one time and they're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. So use the wow samples and use your green samples as a way to introduce another product to someone. So if you've got loyals, do a customer appreciation day where you just send out a couple of samples to them with a thank you note, you know, or if you're sending out samples of greens because you put a post out on Facebook saying, who wants samples of greens? I'm sending them out to the first 10 people who comment. Send out some wow too. So just be creative because those are samples that are easy for them to try and use at home. Let's see. Anybody else have any ideas, things that have been working for them or that they like to do for lead generation? Sam, you lit up. I don't know if you were actually going to talk.
I'm sorry. I was writing something down. What's that?
Ah, I said you lit up like you were going to say something. I didn't know if you were or if I got cut off.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. So what I think is I've been telling people that if they host a party this month, they'll be entered to win a box of wraps or facials at the end of the month.
I like that.
What is it again? What did she say?
Can you say that one more time, Sam?
I said, what I'm doing for this month is I'm telling everybody that if they host a party, they'll be entered to win a box of facials or wraps at the end of the month.
Yeah, and I would say if you're going to do something like that, don't put it out on Facebook because you don't want to be saying, hey, I'm giving away a free box of wraps and then have corporate say, what? But
right.
that's
when
a
I
fun
message people, like, hey,
yeah, that's a fun
doing,
incentive.
yeah, I've been telling them for my personal stash so that they don't think that, you know, it is the big, like, wide thing, just so that they know.
Yeah. Yep, I think it's totally fine to message people things like that and get them on the phone and offer something like that. I don't know if I would give away a free box to everybody, but I would definitely enter people into a drawing to win one or give them like two free wraps. You know, it really depends on whatever you guys have in your inventory and you feel comfortable with. So Sam, if that works for you, then that's totally fine. But
well, I have wrap rewards, so that's how I was gonna use it, like
okay.
do it from wrap rewards.
Okay, yeah, that definitely works.
Cool.
Heather, have you had anything that's been working for you lately? You signed a couple loyals here the other day. You know, you're in the dark.
And I'm in the dark. Nope. I guess I don't know. I'm at a loss.
Okay, so you're feeling like you may need a few ideas then?
I guess so, yeah.
Okay. Well, I think hitting up the vendor and crafting shows even just to blitz in town because Midland is about ready to explode with them. They're going to be like everywhere.
Yeah, I'm doing one next month.
Okay, and you are awesome. You're awesome at creating relationships with random people.
Yeah.
So I would say blitzing, even just blitzing while you're out at those just for fun. Let's see.
As far as the craft and vendor shows, how do you look that up? Because I looked one up down here. It was like a harvest and something.
Mm-hmm.
That Maria had sent me the link. I mean, I guess to contact them, but it was $350 to get like a
wow,
table or something.
Yeah, I usually do like the church shows or like community center shows, like anything small. Check in with gyms. I know back at home and here in town, a lot of the churches do them, and a lot of like the community centers, like they just literally they go for like 3 or 4 weekends in a row.
Yeah, because I asked the gym. The lady that was there before had told me it was okay. I went back to follow up with her to say she got my email because she told me to email the information. And then I spoke to some other girl because I never saw that girl again. And she told me that they weren't allowed at the gym. They weren't allowed to actually have people like us compete with the gym or something like that because it's related to gym wise or something like that. And I was like, well, you still have to go to the gym to get results. So it's not like they work, but it's not that, you have to stop going to the gym. She's like, oh no, but we can't allow you guys, come here and promote it or whatever.
Yeah, so in that case, I would just find something different. Some gyms are weird like that. Some are fine.
Yeah.
I would say do you know any other
like the church too? I did it once at a church, but it was $350 for a book too.
Okay, look for little churches.
Little churches?
Yeah, don't look for like big, huge.
It was a community church. It wasn't even a big church. It was just.
Okay. Yeah, just keep looking. Just keep looking, because there's a lot out there, and there's a lot that I would have never known about without even talking to other distributors for other companies. I find the Mary Kay girls, they know where every show is going to be. They just do.
That's nice to know. I'm going to stop one next time and ask them.
Yep. If you've got any in your community that you're friends with on Facebook, I would ask them.
Okay.
Yeah. Rudy, it looks like you have a question. Is that true? I think you're muted. Let me unmute you real quick.
Thank you.
Okay.
I have a question. Okay. I have a question for the social media queens. When you girls are, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When you girls are friending 100 to 200 people a day, how do you keep the relationship going with that many? How do you actually personal and
I can say for myself with Facebook, I try to keep it to 20 to 30 people a day so I can keep track of them. I think Instagram is different though, because Instagram you can add, Facebook stops you if you add too many people.
Yeah.
And Instagram you're just following people. So Catherine, do you want to answer that on Instagram?
What I do when they start liking my pictures, I start turning on their notification thing on Instagram. So every time they post something, I see an alert that they posted something, so I'm able to see that picture and like it or comment on it or do anything with it.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah. So that's what's helped me, I guess, keep that relationship with that person, to know and keep up with them if they've been liking my pictures and stuff. So to let them know, I'm a real person, not just a fake person.
Ruta, have you seen that notification? Do you know what she's talking about?
Yes, I have. Mm-hmm. Yes, I do.
Yeah, I've used that too, and I find it helps to keep track of people too. Heather, are you adding a lot of people on Facebook, or are you kind of on and off on that one?
I add a lot of people on Facebook, but probably not in the hundreds.
Okay, so when you add people, how do you keep track of them?
Same way, I can see the notification of their stuff. I go to their page right away and start liking stuff right away.
Yeah.
So that way they keep, seeing their stuff.
Yeah, I think that's definitely what I do too. And Lisa just said this. She said groups, and yeah, Lisa, I actually add them to I have a hundreds list under the friend section. So everybody that I friend and that accepts my friend request, I drop them into that. So that way I can go to that list and basically pull up a timeline with all the people that are on my hundreds list and just go through my timeline and make things that way.
Yeah.
I think on Facebook that makes it easier to be able to interact with the people that you are friending on a daily basis. And then if you're posting and you're posting directly to that list, Ruta, then that allows those people that are on your list to see your post, versus if you just put it on your normal wall, they may not see it if they're not interacting a ton with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. I have a list of a few more ways that you can be meeting people, lead generating tips, but it's downstairs where my little boy is.
Post them. You should make a challenge about it.
A challenge about it? Yeah. That's actually on my list of things to do towards the end of the week. So
awesome.
Do you guys have any challenges that you would like to see in the group, or do you feel like you're keeping up with things?
The ones you've posted have been good. Things that I needed to start doing. So
yeah. Things that I don't know that everybody has been doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sam, can you think of anything?
No. I don't know.
Nothing that you've been doing that we haven't covered yet?
No, I've been trying to blitz. I just didn't really have go out this weekend. But I've been blitzing. I've been talking about it. Just kind of like, no, all this like stuff I've been doing.
I think we've
Just trying
covered
to.
a lot here. And you've been doing a great job with the challenges. Lisa, you are like the queen of doing. So is there anything you can think of that we missed, that we haven't covered? A letter type. Lisa is awesome at parties and at working with her loyal customers. She says, lead generation, well, everyone, every day. Yeah, Lisa is out blitzing. Like, anytime she talks to somebody, she is opening her mouth about the business. So if you need to hear anything from someone who is awesome at talking about her products or introducing them, Lisa is great at that. She's muted and at church right now. So, Lisa, we may need to have you do a challenge for a challenge group because I think you've got some good ideas. And she's also great at following up with her loyal customers, and that leads to more lead generation. So, Lisa, I think you've said in the past that you text your loyals every week, and you offer new things to them, right?
How would you keep up with loyal customers? I feel like that's something that once they sign up, I mean, I just try to follow up with them because I see them on my messages, but I feel like sometimes I forget to write to them and see how they're doing.
I actually put their sign up date in my phone and then set a reminder. So every month it reminds me. Lisa says that she goes to her reports every morning and looks at the auto ships to see if their auto ships are running and what's set to run. So that way she can check in with them on what's coming up, make sure that they're happy with their products that they're going to be getting, and answer any questions for them, help them to change their auto ship if they need it. And she says if their date is coming up, she calls them. So, Catherine, I know you do a lot and text them. I know you do a lot on Instagram. So you've got a lot of like messages. Are you getting their cell phone numbers too? Or you've got them as loyal customers? I would text them or call them. Most of my loyals like to text. So I usually get in touch with them about a week ahead of time before their auto ship runs. So I've got that reminder in my phone to check in with them, make sure that they're happy with everything. And I ask if they want to try something soon. And she says, Lisa says you do not want them to get the wrong items. So definitely be checking in with them to make sure that the right product is going to them. Because you can see what it is that they've got their auto ship set up as next.
Yeah.
Yep. She says you want them to get what they want and postpone if they want to wait. Yep, if they need to push their auto ship back a couple of days or a couple of weeks for some reason, you're giving them good customer service by checking in with them on that. Obviously, you don't want them pushing their auto ship back every single month, but if for some reason they need to, there's actually there's that option for them. Lisa says she has over 400 in sales every single month consistently, which she is great with her loyals every single month because she's providing them good customer service. So I think also as we get closer to that 3-month mark, it's important that we're checking in with them and really having a discussion with them on, are they happy with their products? They may be wrapping the whole time and maybe they need the cleanse, or maybe they need to be on the greens, but you've never asked them. So they stopped their auto ship at 3 months because they didn't know that there was something else that they could be trying. So I like to really dig in deep with them if I can and find out what their goals are from day one and help them to find a product that works with them. He says, exactly. Plus, I just finished the 2-day cleanse today, so I can talk about that. Yeah, so talk
It's awesome.
Favorite products too, which Catherine, you're great at doing on Instagram, is talking about the products that you use, and you've got a great before and after picture to be posting too. But you never know what somebody's looking for. Maybe they just need confianza every single day because they're ready to pull their hair out because they have a 2-year-old. It's crazy. So those are my tips. I like to keep them in my phone. It's easier for me to save their name and then LC after their name so that way I can sort through, or before their name, however your phone works. And then you can sort through and find all of your loyal customers. And it's easier when my alarm pops up on my phone to say, hey, this loyal's auto ship is going to be going soon, that I can find them to check in.
Do you save the number too in the reminder, or you just put the name?
No, I just usually put their name because I'm lazy. But I've got their name with LC in my phone so I can easily find them.
Yeah,
But if
I have a lot
it's
of
easier
those
for you
too.
to save it, then you can. Yeah. And with my phone, I can do like a search for somebody in my text messages. And if I know I've already talked to them once, then I can just search by their name and the conversation will pop up for me. Lisa says that she has all of their info on their contact, including Lisa does do that. She keeps
That's
track
good.
of everything that they order every month. Yeah. So in her little notes section of the contact, she keeps track of that, Catherine.
Does that help with volume too? I mean, pretty sure because they're consistent in ordering their stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. She also keeps their ID number and their password because then if they don't remember, she's got it easy and handy. And if she needs to go in and adjust something for them, that she can. And she says, yes, that definitely helps with volume.
How about people that are just not active anymore, loyal customers?
I would reach back out to them. Set a goal for yourself this month of reaching out to each of them by the end of this next week, really, so that you can see if there's something that they'd like to try again. Let them know about the holiday packs. Lisa, I think you're good at that, right? Is letting people know about any new products that have come out. Caitlin Tauti is really good at this too, is reaching out and telling about new products, like highlighting a product every single month. But yeah, talk to them about the holiday pack, about the cleanse. Ask them if there's a goal that they had that they didn't feel like they achieved, or is there something that they are trying to work towards going into the holiday season? Because Fat Fighter is great just as an easy cheat meal for people going into Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas. So I would reach out to them. I would call them or text them. I don't feel like people really check their emails very often. But if you've got people who check their emails, and do that. She says she always contacts as many as she can when it's a BOGO or something great. So I always check in with my old loyal customers come BOGO as well, because they can still order that BOGO deal if they didn't cancel.
Okay.
Yep. But don't be afraid. Like, you've already had a relationship with them. They may not have, they may have canceled because they had too much product or they weren't using it, or maybe they stopped because money was a little tight that month and things may be totally different this month. But old loyals are great to talk to about becoming distributors too. So you can always toss that out there as well.
Yeah, I was one of those.
Yeah,
I was a
was
loyal
too.
customer before a distributor.
I was too. I think we make the best distributors. Not the best, but we make very good distributors. Okay. Well, do you guys have any other questions? We've been on for an hour, and I don't want to keep you, especially since I said it would be half an hour. But
Sorry for the questions.
No, the questions are welcome. I'm very thankful you are asking them, because if you've got them, somebody else has them. And since we're recording this, everybody will be able to see. And Lisa, thank you so much for all of your typed out responses, because I know typing isn't always easy.
Yes, thank you.
Do you guys have anything else before we call it a night? Okay. All right. Well, let's plan on same time, same place next week. I hope to be not a minute and a half, 2 minutes late again. I should be on time. But make sure your team knows this is going to be a normal, regular thing. So we will talk same time, same place next week.
Yes.
All right. Have a good one, guys.
Bye. Thank